Litrato Philippines, hosted by Mike Francisco and Michelle Encarnacion, showcases a variety of wonderful, uplifting beauty queens from all over the world. Philippine tourism, culture, and lifestyle, and issues being faced in our country. Catch them Monday to Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Teleradio Bandido, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m., and YouTube channel RJAM News.
Tanong muna tayo kung live na tayo.
Ayan, live na daw tayo,
Magandang
Mike.
hapon po sa lahat po nanonood ng Litrato Philippines. I hope narinig ako, ma'am. Yan. Ayan, magandang hapon po sa lahat po nanonood ng Litrato Philippines at araw po ng Biyernes, no? April 9, a day before my birthday. So this is really a special day for me because we have a special guest, no? From Pakistan. Later,
Ang ganda ng pa-birthday sa'yo, Mike.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. This is my co-host, Ma'am Michelle Bistug Encarnacion. Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hello, Mike, sa'yo. At syempre, hello sa napakaganda. To our beautiful guest, hello. Good afternoon from the Philippines.
Yan, oo. Anyway,
Thank you very
we
much.
would like to, without further ado, we would like to introduce our guest for today. Actually, she was the Miss Earth representative last year 2020, but maybe I don't know the story about, but definitely she was replaced just before the talent competition. That was I know, no, because on the previous activities of Miss Earth, I saw Raj attending on some activities on Miss Earth and interviews as well here, no. And we would like to introduce our guest for today. She was our Miss World 2019, no, Miss Pakistan World 2019, and World Miss University Pakistan 2020, Women Empowerment Ambassador Awardee, WMU Peace Ambassador. We will just ask what is WMU like later. And Amnesty International membership representative, a barrister, and a human rights activist. We would like to introduce our very beautiful guest, Miss Aroj Bukhari. Hi, Aroj. Good afternoon.
Good
Hello,
afternoon.
Raj.
Hello. It's so nice to see you both. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Anyway, no, that's why I'm wearing, ma'am, long sleeve because.
Kaya ka pala naka-formal, Mike.
Yes, because we have a barrister guest for today, so I need to be.
Yes, usually, Raj, Mike will just wear shirt on a weekend, on a Friday afternoon. But now he's wearing a polo shirt. A long sleeves, actually.
A long sleeve, yan. Oo.
I feel very special
Yes,
that
you
you asked
are.
for me, Mike.
Not just because you are here, but also it's my birthday tomorrow. So
Yes.
I would like to show it to the people that I'm happy because I'm adding additional age tomorrow, no?
A good celebration ni Mike.
Happy birthday in advance.
Yeah, thank you.
Lots of love from Pakistan.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, we would like to ask. So I know people are longing to ask you more. Anyway, for those who are watching here, the Philippines, you can watch us at Sky Cable Channel 224 and all TV boxes nationwide. And also you can hear us in our AM radio, DCRJ 810 AM, and also we have social media account like Facebook.com/DCRJ 810 AM and our new YouTube channel RJAM News, no? And also for those people who are driving outside the Philippines, you can download the app, Radio Garden app, and then just wait to search the radio station in your area, then search DCRJ 810 AM. You can hear us live, simulcast here from the Philippines, of course, no? Yeah, even you are in Pakistan, so that they can download the app, Radio Garden app, to listen to us while driving. Yan. Anyway, ma'am, I would like you to meet our beautiful guest, Miss Aroj Bokhari of Miss
Yes.
World Pakistan 2019. Miss
I am
Michelle,
pleased to meet you, Araj.
Miss
Likewise.
Michelle,
Thank you so
Mrs.
much.
Michelle Bitul Encarnacion is also a beauty queen. We're
Wow.
representing this year Mrs. Um, um, Philippines
International.
International. Yeah.
Wow. That's lovely. Congratulations.
Thank you, Araj.
Yeah.
Anyway, ma'am, would you like to ask first some question to Arot before we proceed?
Oh, yes.
Ay, ma'am.
First of
Um,
oh,
anyway, I think, ma'am,
okay, Mike.
ma'am, can you, can you, tell the people first before we start, no, so that, Aroj will know what the status here in the Philippines about COVID-19? Would you like to share us, ma'am?
Yes, of
The status of
course.
COVID-19 here in the Philippines as of,
Yes, of
yesterday.
course, Mike. As of yesterday,
Ma'am
we
Michelle,
have
I think Ma'am Michelle is freezing,
hello.
Yeah.
through,
Hello.
due
Hello.
to,
Yeah, you found me. I'm back. Okay. So as of yesterday, we have added additional 9,216
for our,
cases.
yes,
And
yes, that is, yes, ma'am, nag-freeze po kayo. Can you, repeat it,
sorry.
ma'am? Okay, good,
I,
ma'am.
I will repeat it. Okay. As of yesterday, there's an additional of 9,216 new cases. So now we have a total of 828,366 cases. We have new recoveries of 598. So now we have a total of 646,968 recoveries. And 60 deaths was added yesterday. So we have now 14,119 deaths. That's our COVID updates as of yesterday.
So maybe we can also ask Aroj, what's happening also in Pakistan regarding COVID.
Yes.
Can we ask Aroj what's the status in Pakistan as of COVID-19 in your country?
Yes, thank you for your question, Mike. These are sad times. I think every country is struggling. We are all struggling individually as well. So these are scary times to be living in. So Pakistan has actually, considering circumstances, has done well. But of course, it's not perfect. There are problems. So we've gone under a lockdown again. So it's a partial lockdown because the case numbers here with regards to COVID started rising. So the government, then it closed down schools, universities, and then it was work from home for people who went to offices other than those. Classes also have been shifted online. So it is quite a scary time, but I think now we're sort of a bit used to it. The first time it happened, I think everyone was terrified that, oh my God, how will we even survive? Will we get the necessary things? And they managed it really well then. So now people are confident. You know what? They support the government in its efforts and into going into lockdown. So we might go into, so this is a partial lockdown. You can still, the shops are still open, but they close at around 6 p.m. So they're not open very late, and they open late and they close early. So that's the way things are now. But we expect there'll be more restrictions down the road. So fingers crossed, basically, we're hoping for the best while preparing for the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice to know what is happening in Pakistan right now. But may we ask if how's the vaccine rollout in your country? Have they started already, or how many percent was already in your knowledge?
Thank you so much. Yes, I remember I had this discussion with Mike as well. I was telling him, I said, we have the vaccine rollout, but we have been good about it. So I believe from what I read, right, that there are around 700,000 people who got infected so far with COVID. So that's a huge population or a percentage, but the thing is that the vaccination efforts are underway. So Pakistan was one of the only country in Asia to have started the stage 3 trials when it did. So we were developing our own vaccines, collaborating with other countries and developing our own vaccines. So now the government, since quite a few months actually, has rolled out the vaccine. So all you need to do. So they started it in tiers. So elderly people get it fast, and then they move down the age groups. So you just needed to send a text message, and they would book you in with your national ID number. So they will then check automatically that what age bracket you fall in. They would call you for your vaccination. You don't have to pay them; it's free. So it's an effort led by government, and I think it's worked really well for us, because it would have been very expensive to then procure. And there's this chase, there's not enough vaccines to go around as well. So we stepped in early and we started developing our own with collaboration with other states.
Well, that's good to know. Okay, Mike.
But I have to get my jab. I haven't had my vaccine yet.
Oh, okay. Anyway, no, it's good to know that your government are doing well, no, in terms of vaccinating your people. But can we ask also, how about the people? Are they following the protocols implementing by your government to avoid, I mean, or to protect them against COVID-19?
Thank you. Yes, I think everyone has been getting COVID fatigue, right? After a certain time, you feel like, all right, I have been wearing a mask for a year. I've not been going out, mingling with others for a year. I think I need a break. So it's very real. But the thing is, the government has led a very good awareness campaign. So, for instance, I'll give you a quick example. It's on the TVs. It's even when I call someone, instead of a ringtone, what I hear is a message regarding COVID that tells me to stay at home. So, and not to mingle with people unnecessarily and things of that sort. So it has just helped, keep us motivated. It has been a long road. It's been so long for all of us, and this is not over yet. So there's certainly that is felt. I mean, even personally, I can say I felt COVID fatigue. I felt like this is going on for so long. But the thing is, because we go into lockdowns and then we come out of lockdowns, so that also allows us to keep our spirits up. Because once the numbers go down, we undergo a smart lockdown, basically. So once the numbers go down, we don't have to be in lockdown and we can move freely. So that, keeps the morale up, I suppose.
Wow, no, that's good to hear, ma'am. No, even you call your friends or someone before you take the call, someone from the network reminding you to stay at home. This
To
is
stay home. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that is a good idea to remind people to stay at home, because some people every country has a hard-headed person, but I think not the best thing that the government made to your country is just to remind them every minute. No, I think that even you made the call, they will remind you stay at home. Maybe on their television when you're watching, there's also a flash telling them that to stay at home as well, so that they can be protected. Until now, no, they are doing it well, no, by giving a good, a systematic way of giving vaccine to your people. Na, ma'am, actually, that's a great idea. No? I hope our government are also listening to us, our government officials, so that they can have some ideas, no, how to fight, no, against this COVID-19 pandemic that we are experiencing, not only in your country but all over the world. Anyway, can we ask more about naman about Aroj? Like, first, we do know, we need to know about Pakistan, no? Maybe, ma'am, ikaw, I don't know kung have you been in Pakistan yet or not yet?
Not yet, Mike.
Ayan. So this is the
Haven't
first
been there.
time. So this is the first time to know what are the best places to visit in Pakistan. What is the best food they can offer to their tourists? So this is our opportunity to know more about Pakistan. Can you tell us more about Pakistan, Aroj?
Certainly, I'll be your virtual tour guide for now. So I'll paint a picture for you of Pakistan that is going to tempt you to come, hopefully. And if any of you or any of your viewers want to come to Pakistan, just let me know. I can recommend all the good places. Pakistan is a country, yeah, like no other. If I'm honest, I have traveled as well. So I traveled abroad as well, but nothing sort of fits the bill for me the way Pakistan does. It's so, first and foremost, it's so economical to come and have a holiday here. It's not very expensive. And the variety in topography you get. We've got mountains, we've got glaciers, deserts, and plateaus and fields. So it is so beautiful. You can get everything in one country. If I were to recommend one place that you go, that's a very hard thing for me to do, to just recommend you that, all right, just go here. Oh, I would actually go back to my favorite. I would want you to go to the mountains. So there's this place, it's called Jheel Saif al Muluk, and it's surrounded by myths, of romance and of fairies and fantasies. Yeah, and there's a myth actually that once a Persian prince was going to Persia via that route, and he saw the queen of fairies there, and he fell in love with her. So, yeah, so he camped outside that lake every day, well, every night basically, to catch a glimpse of her, because we believe that fairies descend at night. And when he finally, was able to see her again, the story goes that he married her, and then they lived happily ever after. So it is, yeah.
That's a nice story.
That's another, fairy tales from us. No? Even though it's not that only a fairy tale, but it's a myth. No, that's what
Yeah.
he's telling. No, that was a
Yeah.
myth. There was a prince. No, roaming around that place, and then he saw, no, the beautiful queen.
Yeah.
The queen of the fairies.
Yeah.
Queen of fairy. Anyway, how about the food? What is the best food that you recommend to us when we visit your country?
Oh, I love food. You're asking me all the right questions. I'm very happy to answer. Do you like spicy food? Or because some people don't
We
like
do.
spicy.
Yeah.
I love spicy foods.
Perfect. Me too. So in different areas of our country, you'll get different foods. I mean, the thing is, we're culturally so diverse. So we have tribal lands. So people who were warriors, their descendants, how they cook. So their food reflect what they ate when, what warriors ate. So it would be a lot of meat. It's cooked in the deserts, or it's cooked outside over fires and coals. It's not very spicy because this is sort of a warrior's food, really. We call it namak mandi. So it's the Pakhtuns who eat it. I love it, honestly. I had it yesterday, actually. So I really enjoy it. So they have a lot of that cuisine. But when you come to Punjab, and that's the area I live in, it's spicy, it gets spicier. So this is a hotter region, so you'll get spicy food. In spicy food, I would recommend biryani, chicken biryani.
Yes.
Have you
Yeah,
tried
I
it?
love
we do
chicken
love
biryani.
biryani, yeah.
I love it as well. My sister makes a really good one. So biryani as well, from different areas, we get sort of a different flavor or different way they cook biryani. So my sister, the biryani she makes, it's called Sindhi biryani. So that's a province of our country. It's Sindh. So it's Sindhi biryani. They put potatoes in it as well, like whole potatoes just chopped in half with meat. So it's very spicy. Yeah.
Wow. Oo nga,
Yung
nagutom
food
ako
nila,
bigla.
Mike, maraming spices eh.
Yes.
Your food, right?
There's a lot of spices in your
Yes,
food, right?
they have lots of spices, and they also use coconut milk, Mike. Most
Yes.
of their foods also.
Yeah.
Most,
Yeah.
most of the time, no, that we're using coconut milk in their food.
Oh.
Anyway, how about the dessert? What is the best dessert that you can offer for the tourists who visit your country?
I would say if you like, so ras malai. I really like ras malai. So, but it is basically it's a little balls of dough. So, like if you like sort of cake batter, you're going to love it. Or if you like cookie batter, you're going to love it. So it's soft dough balls that are very lightly sort of fried, you could say, or even let to rest. And then they expand, Then you soak them in milk, so in cold milk. Yeah, and then you put on crushed pistachios, almonds, and all the other nice stuff on top of it. So you get a crunch while you eat. It's textures. It's a play of textures. It's sweet but not overpowering. I really like it. Yeah.
I'm feeling hungry now.
Oo, ma'am.
I think I like that dessert.
Oo. Anyway,
Or take a flight here. Come,
Yes.
we'll go eat together.
anyway, ma'am,
Yes.
can you ask her about their culture naman? I know some people
Yeah.
know about the culture in Pakistan. Go ahead, ma'am Michelle.
Okay. Of course. Aruj, we wanted to know what is the culture in Pakistan. It's like bringing us in Pakistan, though we're here, virtually. Let us know what are the things that you believe in, and the things that you've been doing to preserve your culture as well. So can you please let us know?
Certainly. Pakistan is so diverse. As I said, our culture is also reflected in food, right? So, with different areas and different, groups of people, you have different traditions, and that's the beauty of it. You can be part of it all. Honestly, when you come here, like we adopt, it's just, it's one country, we are one people. So, it is beautiful. Our culture is very welcoming. I have never met a people. I think us Asians, there is something in our culture to be like that. Anyways, but I've never met a people more welcoming than Pakistanis. If you go to a shop and you're a foreigner and you're buying something, sometimes they'll not let you pay for it. They'll say you're a visitor in our country. You are a
No,
guest.
let's go there, Mike.
Actually, she was planning to also to visit here in the country, so maybe I will wait for her first.
Yeah, I'm coming to you guys as well, and then we can all come together back to Pakistan. How about that?
Well, let's all hope and pray that this pandemic will end soon so we can travel.
Yeah.
All right. But
Anyway,
then
ma'am, before we continue our question to Aroch, we have a report from Manila by
okay.
Sir Rene Maliwat. Sir Rene, good afternoon po.
Hello po, Sir
Ay
Rene.
kapal na sa 817 ang kabuuang bilang ng mga kaso ng COVID-19 sa Manila Police District o MPD mula naman sa nagsimula ito noong panahon pa ng pandemya. Sa impormasyon mula naman kay MPD Chief Police Brigadier General Leo Francesco, mula ng naturang bilang ay 712 itong mga gumaling naman sa naturang sakit. Gayunman, 4 ang membro ng NPD ang nasawi sa COVID-19. Sa ngayon, sinabi ni Francisco na nasa 101 pa rin ang aktibong kaso ng MPD. 93 naman yung mga personnel na may COVID-19 ay under pa rin ng quarantine, habang 2 ang nakakonfine naman sa ospital at 6 ang naghihintay na may salalim naman ito sa quarantine. Sinabi ni Francisco na bukod sa 101 na aktibong kaso ng COVID-19 sa buong MPD, kanila na mga minomonitor ang 6 pa na suspect case at 11 probable cause. Tinayak naman ni Francisco na prioridad nila ang kaligtasan ng kalusugan naman ng kanilang mga pulis na pawang frontliners na nagpapatuloy sa pakikipaglaban sa COVID-19 pandemic. Tuloy-tuloy din ang kanilang trabaho at pagsisilbi sa publiko sa gitna naman ng pandemya. Ito, si Rene Maliwat para sa Desert Tinayam, ang Radyo Bandido Team.
Maraming salamat, Sir Rene, at ingat ka palagi. Anyway, Aroj, the report was about our police force here in Manila contacted some COVID-19, virus, around 812.
807 plus already, Mike.
Oh, yes, 870 or 17. I don't know the exact number. But definitely, the good things are 700 plus are the recovery of that particular policeman, no? And then the 101 is under observation and curing, no, process, no, at this moment, no. Oo. And then four of them has already, died on that particular virus. No, it is sad, no. Even like I said to Ma'am Michelle, even the president, the beauty queen or the celebrity, policeman, are not exempted to have this particular virus. No, anyone can be contracted of that as long as you are, are not healthy enough. So, as can I ask also, since that on your culture, what do you think is the best values of Pakistan that they are very protective on themselves in terms of this pandemic?
Yes, certainly. First and foremost, I would like to offer my condolences to you and your fellow countrymen and women.
Thank
And I
you.
want, yeah,
Thank
and I
you.
want to applaud their bravery, the bravery of your people in tackling this virus. Honestly, the spirit of your people is something that I find very inspiring. So, and my prayers are with you and your people. Um, Now, in saying a little bit about my country, our culture, it's very welcoming. We are very kind. We're very warm-hearted, and we love guests. I mean, so we are very family orientated, and we don't like to stay isolated. So it's a culture where we have a lot of friends. We like to keep our doors open for everyone. That's the thing. So your neighbors coming in, your aunties coming in, taking the children out. So it is very Asian in that respect. So we're full of life. We celebrate family. We celebrate good food. We celebrate life itself. So and we also take joy in the simple things. So we appreciate the beauty of nature. We appreciate having one another. As a family, as I said, is very important in my culture. So we appreciate having that. And I think that's similar to you guys. It's the same where you are, right? I think our values in that match. Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, Aruj, it is part of your culture is enjoying being together with family, with friends. But with this pandemic that happened, how were you able to cope with being isolated until now? You cannot even go out and meet
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. So I was fortunate in that I'm not living alone. So I live with my parents. So I was very fortunate. And when I moved back from England, one of the reasons I moved back was because I missed my family. So I missed that. I have some family there. My sisters are there, but they have their own families, right? So I was the one alone there. So I used to miss my parents a lot. So part of the reason why I wanted to come, and it was always my dream, I'm quite patriotic to be able to serve my country and also to be with my parents. So I cannot even imagine, honestly, if I had been alone and I had, have had to live through all of this on my own, I would have found it very difficult because it's still so difficult. So, but the thing is, they have been very supportive. So anytime I have felt like I find things overwhelming, there's too much, I can't, it's scary times, right? So they have been a shoulder for me to lean back on. And another thing I did was I like gardening. So I find that very therapeutic as well, right? So
So you are a plantita.
yes, agree. Yes, certainly.
Mike has a lot of nice plants.
Yes.
Really, Mike?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a lot of cactus
Succulent
and
plants.
succulents.
Wow, I love I want to grow succulents here. I wanted to have some succulents in my room. Oh, Mike, I'll ask you for tips.
If you ever come in our country, I'll give you anything you like here. Relax naman talaga mo binigyan.
Bakit ako, Mike, hindi pwedeng
Ay,
hindi
oo nga
ko?
pala.
I'll bring them back home.
Anyway, can we ask Lodge regarding this one? I would like to know about your religion. No? How many religion do you have in your country? For what I know, Pakistan is more on Muslim, but maybe we will not know
Mhm.
there are some religion existing in your country as well.
Yes, I mean, if I were to list them out, I don't think even I could do that. There's so many different belief systems. So, majority of religion is Muslim. A lot of Muslims live in Pakistan. So that's a religion that's held by many people here. We have got Christians, we've got Parsis, people who, at the time of Mughals, migrated from Persia, what was then called Persia. So the Parsis, the Zoroastrians, basically. We've got so many different, and we've got another tribe of the Kalash people. They have their own cultures that date back to the earliest civilizations of this region. So, and they are protected. So we consider them a national heritage. So their areas are protected, their customs are protected. So they live up in the mountains. So as I said, go to the mountains. You will have discoveries there.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, no. Can I know also about actually, ma'am, no? Aroj is a barrister. Barrister is similar, not actually similar, but same like as a lawyer. Am I
Yeah.
right, Aroj? Mm.
Yeah.
And then you are as a barrister, you're practicing your advocate as a human right advocate. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what do you do as barrister in your country?
A lot of things. So for my bread and butter, the area that I practice in is commercial law, commercial and corporate. But I take pro bono cases, human rights cases. I don't charge for them. I just do them for free because I like to help people, right? And so that is a passion of me. Of mine. I'm a human rights activist. So that is something that does bring me joy, and it is the whole reason I went into law in the first place. I was a human rights activist first, and then I became a lawyer. That's how I describe it. So you're going to find that in me. So that's a part of me that I'm always going to take forward. Yeah.
Anyway, can I ask what is the greatest achievement of you as a barrister? I think the best case that you handle and you achieve it successfully.
Thank you. The greatest achievement of me as a barrister. I didn't want to give away too much about the cases, right? I want to keep them anonymous. But I think there's one thing that I really like. Just when someone or people feel that there's no option for them, that they're not going to get heard, they're not getting heard. So they've tried and nothing has helped, or no one has helped them. And for me to be able to, I just do my job, right? My job is to represent them fully to the best of my ability and to make sure that their case is presented to the judge in its entirety in a way that it enables him to make a decision in their favor and do justice, basically, right? So the thing, what I really like is when they first come to me, I can see it on their faces that they feel quite dejected, scared, and there's a fear there. I mean, litigation is not an easy thing. It's an adversarial process. We don't go through this process. We don't put ourselves through this process for any joy of it. It's a hard thing to even go through, no matter what the outcome is. So, but I see them by the end of it, they become emboldened. So there's something in them that they shed that insecurity. Most of that goes away. So it's a joy for me to see that person then at least get out of the shackles of all the troubles that were weighing them down. To see that shift in a human being, I find that so rewarding. Like honestly, that
Yeah. You from being a human rights advocate, a barrister, what brings you to the pageant world?
Yes, that was a good question, actually.
Yeah, very good question. So as I said, I'm quite patriotic. So the whole reason why I became Miss Pakistan World and then World Miss University and participated in all these pageants was because I wanted to represent my country as I saw it. And I wanted the world to see it like that as well, because I felt that it is quite sad, but it is also true that Pakistan has been subject to not very good. You didn't hear you didn't used to hear many very good things about it, which did not reflect reality. So I felt that I should be an ambassador of my country. I'm a human rights advocate, right? So I do this sort of thing. I enjoy doing it. So I thought, then why not, share and create awareness and let the world know what Pakistan is like, what Pakistani women are like, what do we think, what do we feel, what do we do, and what are our aims and goals. I just consider myself a normal Pakistani girl, if I'm honest. There's so many others like me. They're educated, they aspire, they have aspirations, they aspire to change the world. So I wanted to sort of just reflect that through my advocacy. So that was the purpose.
That's very good to know. You're an amazing independent woman, Aruj.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So are you?
Ma'am, I would like to ask also, no, kasi we discussed, I think it was last year, no, before she was joining Miss Earth. I asked her about if she, can we ask, do you have a boyfriend right now, or
Wow, about the love life.
Lang ako, ma'am, huwag ka maingay.
Why, Mike? Why do you want to know?
No, I would like to just to ask. Ayan mo, nagtanong siya tuloy bigla. I would like to ask, if regarding, kasi she mentioned me, ma'am, before about if you have a husband, if you will have a husband, and then because in Muslim they had
the culture when it comes to marriage.
I think
yeah, multiple wives.
Four wives. No, for what I know, they will be allowed to have a four wives. I asked her if it's okay with her, no, as a single person
To be in that kind of situation.
In a married. I mean, when she married, when the guy wants another women around one or two.
Yeah. So okay. So
aside from her, is it okay with her? No.
The people would like to know if that's acceptable with you, especially that you're a beauty queen and you are a human rights advocate.
Yes,
of course, we wanted to know how it feels, or how will you feel if this will happen to you.
Yes.
So one thing, and the outset, I would like to clarify and clear. In our culture, also in our religion, under the law of Pakistan, you need the permission of the first wife. Or if, for instance, if you have two wives, and obviously one of them would be the first one, then when you marry again, you need her permission, her consent.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can't do it. Right? So it would not then follow what the religion tells you. It would not then follow what the law tells you. So I'm not going to give that consent if someone is thinking they are going to marry me. Then
It's clear now.
what's going to happen?
Is it clear that you want to be? That's what she said to me. No, if his husband impose, no, or insist to have another woman, I can let her go. I let him go. That's what he told me. Oh,
Yeah.
he will let him go.
Mike, with a beautiful woman like Aruj, a woman that's, as what I've said, an amazing independent woman, why will you need another woman?
Yes, that was I was thinking because she is a Muslim and maybe someday she will marry a Muslim too. That's why I'm thinking that is it okay if it happens to you that your husband will meet another woman?
No. And another thing I would like to clarify, as I said, you need the permission of your first wife to do it. So it doesn't matter. And another thing is it's not very common here. So this is not something that's very common in my country, for people to have multiple wives. So it is not very common. Culturally, it's not very common, but it does exist. It is allowed. But, the conditions that are set to allow it are so stringent that it's mostly impossible to fulfill those. So who's going to then allow her husband? Obviously, by that, I mean, full and informed consent. Not that, coerce someone, force them to allow you. That doesn't work, right? So it
Yeah,
is
that's a different story if they pursue, no, to allow them.
yeah. So that is not consent then. So that doesn't
Yeah,
count.
if there's a force, there's no consent there.
Oh, and then
Exactly.
she
So
is a human rights advocate, and then she will be, I mean, he will be sued if ever
Her
he
rights
will
will
do
be
it the other way.
violated if that's the case.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So it can't happen like that. So it's very rare that this would even sort of happen, basically. Yeah, but I suppose if someone then hides and does it, then can we really stop people from doing something like that, which is not allowed by a religion, to hide and have a second marriage without having consent of your first wife, sort of have a hidden family. But people, do that, right? They sometimes cheat. Couples in marriages, these things happen, and this is not good, obviously. I'm not condoning it, but these things then happen. This is just bad behavior. Because the religion has set out parameters for us to protect us, basically, that you cannot marry again without consent. And also, there's certain conditions you need if you want to marry again. And all right, let's assume you have consent, then you need to be able to support all of them
Yes.
to the same level and to a good level. So, can you do that? And can you be equal emotionally as well? You can't sort of be emotionally unequal as a. But anyways, and it also says that is something that's impossible to do. So it's also about interpretation, how people interpret the text, and whether they think that this is a prohibition, or whether they think that this is a limitation, or how do they interpret it. So it is that thing as well. Different schools of thought, think differently about it, because it's religion. It can be interpreted in different ways. But yeah, it doesn't allow someone to just not have consent of their past wife and then have a secret
How,
family.
can I ask also how's your law to prosecute the person who has sina? Sina means other
Yeah.
women, something like that. How would
Yeah.
you prosecute that particular person who violated to have a sina?
um so if we're talking in the context of marriage, it depends on facts, right? But if you're talking in the context of marriage and someone who's committed has married another person, I suppose, is that what you're getting at, without consent of the first wife, then that can form grounds for divorce. So that can form grounds for divorce, and the first wife can then get divorced from that person. So yeah, it can have really strong legal consequences. So you mustn't marry people without getting consent.
Yes.
And I would say, one is enough. So, just do right by one person, and I think that is more
Actually, ma'am,
desirable.
ma'am, she mentioned me before, no, that
Mhm.
I don't know if she will speak for it right now, no, about the practice that the Muslim has right now are not applicable anymore in terms of having a husband or having a wife, because just before Muhammad has allowed to have many of wives that she wants to, but now, like what she said to me, the war is over, no, so definitely that is not applicable today. That's what she told me, no? Remember that, Aaron, that he told me.
So the thing with Prophet Muhammad, you're quite right. A lot of his wives, they were widows. And some, they were, so the thing was, he wanted to combat the taboos. So during the time that he was, if we're talking, so many hundreds of years, 1400 years ago or something. So he wanted to actually enlighten the people. The purpose of marriage, people did not like to marry widows. It was just something, this cultural thing they had then. And so he wanted to allow women to remarry. That was the thing. So he wanted to allow women to remarry, and also they didn't want to marry women who were older than them. So men didn't want to marry women who were older than, which is, I think we still hold those taboos, which I don't, subscribe to. This is just so sad that so many years, later on we still hold these taboos that, all right, if someone is a widow or divorced, or they were they're old, we're not, we're going to look down upon them, especially if it's a woman. She needs to be younger than her husband. It is quite sad to have these sort of thoughts still. And so his purpose was to combat that. So the marriages that he had, they were basically to become an example to others. And they were not, it was not allowed, his other companions were not allowed to have, that many wives, but he just had them to make sure that people know and they learn about it, that this is not a wrong thing to marry someone who's older than you, someone who's a widow. It was that sort of thing. So these were women, some of them were women who had been enslaved, and he freed them. So it was, and they didn't, that we're talking about sort of dark ages, basically, how people lived then. So he just wanted to give people their right, and the best way he thought, and I suppose was to do, is to show it by example. Even today, like if someone's remarrying, people, a widow is remarrying, let's say, people do judge. It is sad, but there is that element. So I think it's a good way for someone then to say, well, look at the Prophet. Weren't his wives widows? Didn't he then? Weren't they older than him? And one of his wives, his first wife, actually, she was a businesswoman older than him. She proposed to him. So, and he loved her. Like, he had the prophecies, and then he became the prophet. But yeah, so he loved her. She was a tradeswoman. So she, and he helped in her business. He helped in her trade business. And so there's a beauty to it. So the times, but there it was a necessity of that time to actually just create an example, because that is how it was, and it is quite sad. But then women were sold, and these sort of things have happened throughout in many cultures as well, and throughout our histories, which is quite abhorrent. But he came and he created awareness. So they used to do also this thing that they looked at a girl child. And in India, for instance, there's still this female infanticide going on. So when they see that the baby is a female child or female fetus, what they do is they abort it. And sometimes mothers are forced to abort it. And you hear about all these stories. And these are educated women, but it just does not matter. It is just the way perhaps a girl child is looked at. So what they were doing in those dark ages was something similar, that they used to get rid of female babies, female children, and the prophets changed that. So he said that whoever has 4 daughters, so if you have 1 daughter, you are disclosed to me. So he just described it like they said, if you have 4 daughters, you stand next to me. And he had daughters. He himself had daughters. So and he was like, you are then closest to me if you have daughters. So just to change the mindset of those people, and to let so that's the thing. We are 4 sisters, so we don't have a brother. So I always found that very beautiful, that thing. Because
Can we ask Aroj regarding about your plan? You're already 26 years old, is that right?
Sorry,
You are turning what? 26, right?
Your age.
25.
You're turning
25.
26 this year.
I think so.
On
Yeah.
December, is that right? December.
I think so. Yes.
Oh,
I should actually, measure. I don't know. I think so. I think you're right.
oh, and then and that's what she said. Yeah, I do remember that she said that she's turning 26 on December. That's right.
12th December. Yes. My birthday is 12th December.
Yeah. Kasi, naman, tanda. Sabi ko siya, ma'am, if ever I had an opportunity to have a Roj, no, I will make her saint to me. Parang ganun, ma'am. Lagyan ko siya si Mama Mary. Oo.
What should I
her
say?
as a saint. I told her, if ever had opportunity to have like you, I will treat the girl as a saint, no? Because you
A saint. Oh.
because you are very beautiful and you need to be, for me, you are you need to be taking care, something like that.
I
Oh,
so
Really
you know what?
precious.
Start building a shrine to me. How about that?
Ayun na, ma'am.
I'll come to Philippines and let's make a shrine for Rouge. The same.
Yeah. Anyway, can we ask also your plans? So you're turning 26. I know is it
Yeah.
too early, no? But what was your plan for this year,
Plans.
2021, for pageant? So since you're
Okay,
already
so for
this,
your pageant journey.
yeah, in pageantry,
Mhm.
what's your plan for this year?
I was asking you for your advice, Mike. So you have to help me. I'm
Oh,
lost.
actually,
Ikaw
yes.
pala may
Oh,
kaninaantay mag-advise.
okay, no. Actually, no. I don't know because there are some pageant who has a height
Yeah,
requirement.
age
Oo,
limitations.
age limitation and height requirements. I don't know the height
Mhm.
of Aruj. Is this 5'5"? Is that right?
But given a chance, Aruj, you still wanted to pursue another pageant?
Pageant. What
Would you
particular
like?
pageant did you want?
If I'm honest, I'm open to things. I don't sort of never sort of close myself off to things. It's a possibility. So it's
Mhm.
just where life takes you, right? So it's just that sort of thing with me. Um, it's just I'm just going with the flow. So where life is taking. I
Okay,
think
so
I told
there will
Mike
be
this.
another
I think
opportunity. You will join.
I
Mhm.
will consider, right? I will
All
definitely
right.
consider it and I'll see if it's right for me. So it's
I
just
think
that
ma'am.
sort of thing. I never sort of, say, all right, I'm not going to do it. Things change. So
Yes.
I'm open to it. I just don't know where I'll be, right? In the next few months, what will happen? So
Mhm.
I'll
Ma'am,
never know.
I think, ma'am, no, the best pageant for her is Miss International. That's what I can see because as Japanese wants very beautiful women just like Aroj. Remember? Di ba,
Yeah,
ma'am?
why not?
Oo.
Meron bang Miss International sa Pakistan or
In
handpick
Pakistan,
yan?
do you have a pageant also Miss International in Pakistan?
I'm not too sure. I'll have to look into it. So yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah,
So I'll definitely look into it. I'll see
because
how
Mike
that.
was saying that with the beauty that you have,
Mm.
you are fit to that pageant.
Yeah, so that was I
That's
can
what
see,
he's
you can be
saying.
crowned, as Miss
As the
International.
next Miss International.
Mike,
Wow.
you're so kind. If I do, then you must run good and positive things about me on your channel.
Yeah, Aruj, you will be the Miss International and I will be the Mrs. International.
Yes, oo.
Wow,
Ipapakita ka
that's
namin
it.
tao, di ba?
I like that. I like that idea.
That's good, no? Anyway, do you want to say something or do you want to give some thanks to your friends, people who help you not only as a barrister, as your career, but also your friends during pandemic that who help you and
Yeah,
also,
actually, Mike,
oo.
let's also ask
Mm.
Aruj if you have any message, not only to the people of Pakistan, but to the whole world that may be
Mm.
listening to us and watching us, um, to encourage them in the midst of this pandemic.
Oo.
Thank you for this opportunity to actually share my thoughts. Um, if I speak of who has been the most supportive, first and foremost, I'd like to thank my family. Right, my parents, as I said, they are my rock. And what I am today, I could never be without my advocacy as well. So my mother was the one um, who used to write my speeches. Just bear with me for a moment. Yeah,
Go ahead.
got you again. I'm so sorry. For a moment, I just lost the screen. So this is technology. These are the times we live in COVID. But yeah, first and foremost, I would like to thank my parents. So as I was saying, my mother was the one who used to write my speeches for me when I was little, and then I would go and participate in my school program speech competitions. So she was sort of the first one who taught me advocacy. So anytime when I get an award for my advocacy, for instance, when I got the award to become the Women Empowerment Ambassador, I dedicated it to her. I said, Mummy, it was you. I was sleep deprived, but I wrote that speech on my iPhone, but in the bus on the way to the convention center. But I remembered what you told me. So it was just the skills you gave me. Other than that, obviously, I would like to thank my friends and my fellow countrymen and women for the support and love they have shown me and they continue to show me, and for the spirit and resiliency to all Pakistanis who are struggling through this tough time of COVID. My message to you is of hope and persistence. Just sort of stick in there, and soon this will all be over. So we will have better times. And my message to your people, the people of Philippines, is of love and admiration and respect. I'm in awe of your country, and I'm in awe of the people of your country. I have friends. I have met such lovely people from Philippines that I feel like I have a connection to it, and I want to visit your amazing country. So I want to wish you the best of luck. You all are in my thoughts and prayers, and it means the world to me to have your love and support, and the love and support of everyone in the world. And my prayers are with you all. Soon we'll have better times.
Thank you very much, for that message. People will, will hear you, and then definitely will follow, what you, and then at the same time, let's, I will add also that let's pray that all the people will heal, all over the world, in terms of this pandemic, especially who contracted the virus, Don't lose hope. There's still life after this. So you better, don't let your, your emotions down. Just cheer up, and then think that you will able to survive that particular virus that you have right now. Anyway, ma'am, may mga gusto pa kayo pasalamatan before we end our program?
Yes, of course, Mike. I would like to thank Arush. Thank you so much for this lovely interview with you. And of course, you are most welcome here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Just let us know when. Okay.
Yeah, soon.
Mike, thank you so much sa iyo, at salamat din of course sa lahat ng mga kasama natin sa DZRJ, lalo na ang ating mga technical people na nandyan na patuloy na nagtatrabaho para sa atin na makapagbigay tayo ng balita, impormasyon sa mga tao. Batiin ko lang ng belated happy birthday isa sa mahusay ding na photographer na kaibigan natin, Sir Edmond Ong Chua. Ayan, happy birthday. And of course,
araw, ma'am.
Oo, hindi ko siya nabati. Naku, sorry. And salamat sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin, mga kaibigan na nakasama natin ngayong hapon. Thank you so much, everyone. And as we end this week, we always pray and hope that we are all safe at all times.
Ako naman, I would like to thank Aroch for giving us opportunity to, finally, we have to interview Aroch in spite of her busy schedule, as actually she's teaching also student, like what she told me, aside for being a barrister, so I would like to thank Aroch for giving us time to interview her live on television, in Philippine television. I hope we can see her personally when she visits here.
Yeah, very beautiful.
We will tour you on ma'am spa. She has own spa. So
you give me her job. She will hate me.
Anyway, thank you very much, Charlotte, and I hope you're doing fine, and keep safe always, and your family as well. And thank you very much to the all people of Pakistan who supporting Aruj as well.
Yes.
I hope you will keep supporting her on her next pageant. So we're just, we're just here to preach, and also to cheer Aruj, as even we are here in the Philippines, we do support Aruj in her next journey, in her next pageant. Thank you very much for those people who watching us, Aruj. Thank you very much. And susunod na po yung programang Chachahin Mo Baby ni Sir Jimmy Morato, at abangan niyo po yan, sa pagbabalik po ng aming programa dito sa DZRJ 8 AM. Sa susunod po Lunes, abangan niyo uli kami sa ganap ng alas 3 sa alas 4 ng hapon, dito lang sa DZRJ 8 AM. ang
Yes.
Radyo Bandido TV.
Happy
Maraming
Friday,
salamat.
everyone!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday. And
Thank
happy
you,
birthday in
Sharon.
advance, Mike. Happy
Yeah.
birthday in advance.
Yeah,
And
thank
happy
you, thank
birthday
you.
to your
Yes.
colleague as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Bye,
Happy advance
everyone.
happy birthday, Mike!
The views and comments of the hosts and guests
OFWs around the world.